Alabama, Florida State, 1 versus 3. Doesn't get a whole lot bigger than this for an opening weekend showdown, and we've got you covered. I'm Blake DeVine for the FSView, and we got the Tide versus the Noles.
Our defense did a really nice job. We knew our defense was stalwart. We had a chance to be a really good team, and they kept us in the ball game. We could just because a couple of times Alabama had a chance to put it away, and we kept it to a 2-score game at 21-7. That's only 2 plays away. You're 1 or 2 drives. We just couldn't make the plays. Their defense did a great job, and we just didn't make the plays on our side of the ball to get us back in. But we on offense we moved the ball very well the first half and the first drive of the second half. We felt we felt good at halftime about the way the game went. Disappointed in where we were, but felt in what we were doing and how we were doing it. We just lost the momentum. The big thing was the momentum swings in the special teams in the second half. And when you get momentum, I always talk about that all the time. Momentum's the thing. It's hard to swing, especially when you play good people.
We played pretty well, but at the same time, we didn't finish. We needed to finish. And, we practiced too hard all summer, practiced too hard during camp, and did too much to come out here, play a game, move the ball the whole game, and then, not finish the game. That's what we did. We didn't finish, which was unacceptable. And so I told my teammates, I was like, look, we got a long season ahead of us. We're going to work our tails off starting tomorrow and Monday. We're going to start every period 100%, finish every period 100%, every day, every play, everything we do 100% because we have to finish every single play. That's unacceptable. We started off, last year we tended to start out slow. This year we started off fast, and we got to keep that fast pace going the entire game.
They fought, they battled, and they fell. Florida State took a tough loss to Alabama 24-7 on opening night, the first time that they have lost their first game since 2009. I'm Blake DeVine, sports editor of the FSV, alongside assistant sports editor Alfy Flores and Michael Hudak, our featured columnist. And tonight, Michael, obviously a tough loss for the Florida State Seminoles. X's and O's, what went wrong with this game, playing a heavy juggernaut like #1 Alabama?
Well, in the first half, there were a lot of things that went right. I mean, Florida State's defense kept them in this game for most of this game, but that's the good thing about this game, and that's also the bad thing, because when you lean too heavily on one side of the football, as dominant as that side of the football can be, you're going to run into trouble eventually. And the game was pretty close at halftime, only a 3-point game. You go into the second half, and all of a sudden, Florida State just starts falling apart, and it happens quick. 2 interceptions, a fumble, and 2 blocked kicks. 4 out of those 5 happened in the second half alone. So when you have that going on, it's basically blood in the water. And for a team like Alabama, they hopped all over it. They smelled that blood. They got all over Florida State for the rest of the game. And it's a tough loss, but there are certain positives to take away from this. But Florida State, at the end of the day, just shot themselves in the foot.
Alfy, obviously, DeAndre Francois started off stellar. I mean, he had a quarterback rating of over 200. They would have that early 7-3 lead. And then he ended up getting carted off the field to end the night. What went wrong for DeAndre Francois, and what does that injury mean for this team?
Well, like you said, DeAndre started off very strong, but finished off 19-33 and 2 interceptions, total 210 yards. But at the end of the day, DeAndre Francois, he's our go-to guy at quarterback, and when he's gone, the offense can certainly be scrambled, but we certainly do have James Blackman to back him up if necessary. So what does it mean for our offense moving forward? It means that there is some uncertainty, but there are other pieces that will be able to help contribute and pick up.
Michael, obviously Florida State's defense, you could argue, had a decent night. It was the offense that got shut down by Alabama's defense. 0 points in the second half. What went wrong for the offense, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, again, we look at the good sides of what Florida State did tonight. Something that we were talking about for so long in this offseason. How is the receiving corps going to come out here without Travis Rudolph, without Bobo Wilson, without Kermit Whitfield, and put on any kind of performance against Alabama's secondary with safeties like Micah Fitzpatrick and Tallahassee native Ronnie Harrison? And Florida State's receiving corps came out here and actually had a phenomenal game. 4 Seminoles had multiple receptions. I think all of those, 2 of those had 3 receptions. But at the same time, you lean too heavily on one side of the offense, and the running game only had 40 yards. I mean, that is going to, again, shoot yourself in the foot against a team like Alabama. And yes, you can't repeatedly start bang your head into a wall, right? I mean, Alabama's front seven is one of the best in all of college football, regardless of all the talent that they lose to the NFL every year. They still have 4 and 5 stars waiting in the wings. So Florida State just couldn't run the football, and at the end of the day, that put way too much pressure on the passing game, which really did well in the first half. Too much pressure in the second half. I think that's part of the reason why DeAndre Francois got hurt tonight, and it's something that Florida State has to address moving forward.
Alfy, obviously Florida State's 0-1 to start the year. Can this team end up back in Atlanta playing for the national championship, maybe against Alabama?
Certainly. I mean, a loss is a loss. However, when the loss to Alabama, the number 1 team, then there is movement moving forward. We can move forward from this, and certainly winning out for the rest of the season, we can come back to Atlanta and perhaps face them in the national championship.
Another loss to a number 1 team in the country's Florida State falls tonight. For Blake DeVine, for Michael Hudak, and for Alfy Flores, we are the FSView, and we'll see you next week for the Knowles home opener.